Everyone, welcome to the live studio audience of the Getting After It podcast.
There's so many people in here, it's crazy.
It's a rough start, I gotta be honest, to this thing. But, Alessandra, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you on.
I'm happy to be here.
And you look great.
I feel very large.
8 months exactly? 8 months pregnant exactly? Basically, right?
Basically.
That's insane.
Yeah, came fast.
How's it feel?
Big.
That's it. That's your only symptom?
Yeah. Just this last, starting at 35 weeks. So I guess I'm almost 36 weeks. I guess we're going to 36 weeks. And 35 just started all my symptoms for the first time. So I can't be mad. I made it this long before.
It has been very
Mild.
Mild's a good way to say it. 'Cause I wouldn't say it's been easy, but I'd say mild's a good way to say it.
Yeah, my symptoms haven't been bad at all.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
It's pretty insane. And it's gone by so fast, which is nuts.
Yeah, everyone's like, probably not for you. I'm like, no, it is for me as well.
Yeah.
It has gone fast, so thanks.
Everyone coming up, oh man, I can't believe you just told me that you were pregnant. It's like, I know, we feel the same way.
Yeah, seriously.
It's pretty crazy.
I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
I know, it's nuts. But oddly enough, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is something that you and I have discussed for a while. And you know that we hate the people who say, no, hate's a strong word, but...
I hate.
All right, we hate the people who are like, you just wait, you know?
Yeah, just wait. People are the biggest Debbie Downers ever.
I know. Especially like when you're having a kid and it's like, oh, we're bringing a life into the world. We're so excited.
Which we have openly expressed how excited and how hard we tried for this.
Yeah. 3 years of infertility, probably 6 years of infertility.
Yeah. We just weren't married, so we didn't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
No, I mean, that's it. It's just like, they drive me crazy because you're bringing this little ball of joy into the world. Or when we were getting married, we got the same thing. Like, you just wait till the honeymoon phase is over. Which, by the way, hasn't ended.
Newsflash.
Yeah, so...
Gets better every day.
Everybody who said that,
You can
suck it. We're the same.
Jinx.
But, like, with a kid, I just don't know why people are in that mindset to where it's like, okay, well, you just wait until, you have to wake up in the middle of the night and you have to feed the baby, or you have to change their diaper at 2 a.m., or...
Keep in mind, we obviously are not in that situation yet, so it could be we're expecting it to be hard and uncomfortable and sucky at times.
Of course.
But, carry on.
I think that's, yeah, exactly. Like, of course we know that it's going to be hard. Of course we know there's going to be times where we are changing a diaper at 2 a.m. and we say, I'd much rather be sleeping.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're literally taking care of a child. And that's what you and I want, probably more than anything. Is to be parents. And that's just like, I don't know. I mean, with every dream that you have, whether that be you want to start a business or you want to go after an ultra marathon or you want to become a podcaster, whatever it is, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be times where you don't want to do it. And there's going to be times where you're exhausted and you feel like you're burnt out. And I think parenthood is going to be a whole different ballgame, but a lot of the similar patterns, I would imagine.
Right.
Especially through talking to people who say, oh, it's the best. Like, I've heard a lot recently where people say, the good outweighs the bad.
Right.
And I think that's probably very true. But the reason I want to talk about this today is the whole idea for this episode. There's going to be a central question that we have in the back of our heads, okay? And it is this. How do we continue chasing meaningful goals without making our family feel like it comes second? Can you chase big goals and still be present for your family? That's it. That's our topic for today. And I thought it'd be fun to have this conversation with you because we've been talking about how we can support each other in our goals afterwards. We're already going to build out this gym a little bit more, /studio/laundry room. But we're going to build it out more so it's more accessible for you to work out at home and stuff. And when I don't have time to go to the gym or something or whatever, excuse me, I'll be able to do the same thing, like come downstairs and get a workout in. But I think it's really interesting to think about our life that we're going to leave behind.
Don't say it like that.
Well, I mean,
We're not leaving a life behind. We're only adding to.
I know, but there's some things that we're going to have to leave behind.
Like what?
For example, like training's going to look different. Travel's going to look different.
Different, not leaving it behind. That's what makes change so scary for everybody, is because everyone has this mindset that everything changes all at once and then your life's completely different. Yes, our life's going to look different. Yes, we have a little human. Yes, traveling's going to get harder. Training's going to get harder. Like, time is going to look different, like, especially my day-to-day schedule. Like, now I have a human being, you know. And, of course, that's all going to happen. But how important is it to, like, keep to our roots and who we are, too? I don't like thinking of everything changing, because that's what brings so much fear usually, because it sounds like a whole new life, when in reality we're bringing so much more into it, and so much more love and happiness. And yes, we'll have to sacrifice some things, but I don't know. We've talked about this when we got married, too. You thought that everything was going to change in, like, a day.
That's true. Yeah.
And it only got better.
I know. And that's why, honestly, I think it's fun having our brains on this podcast together, because mine is very, you know.
You're a worrier.
I'm a worrier. Everything can happen. Anything can happen, right? Mm-hmm. And you're very much just like, let's just see what happens. And I love that, because it balances us out very much so.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do this episode again in a year and see, like, how naive we were. Because I'm sure going into parenting, we're like, it's going to be this way. We think that it's going to be easy adapting to, not easy, but we think we're going to be able to adapt pretty smoothly or whatever. I'm curious to see that question that you said at the beginning, how that's going to change when we reflect in a year. And I didn't mean to, like, get on my high horse talking about change, but it always freaks me out, because you always say things like that. I'm like, you make it sound so depressing. We love traveling and we love doing these things. Like, we can still do them and prioritize them.
Yeah.
But I know you talked the same way about getting married, and then we got married. It's like, we still go to work. We still do all the same stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we just live together.
Maybe the way I'm thinking about it is just like the life that we're going to leave behind is just our schedules are going to look different.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Which is true.
And
obviously life looks a lot different if your schedule changes.
Oh, yeah. Winston's going to disrupt our entire routine.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I know is certain.
Right.
That doesn't mean we won't travel, because we will.
Yeah, you make me all sad saying things like that.
No, you can't be sad. Don't be sad.
Figure it out.
We are going to figure it out. And I know there's going to be a learning curve, like there is with all things.
Right.
But the whole purpose of me starting off with that, like the life you're going to leave behind is basically to pave way for a new, better one. Right.
Right.
And going back to what everyone says, like, oh, it's the best thing in the world. Mm-hmm. Being a dad is one of my favorite things. Like, that is what I mean by, you know, we're leaving our old life where it's just us two to a point to where, no, don't be sad about that.
I'll cry right now.
No, don't cry, because it's going to be much more beautiful.
Right.
And you know that.
I know.
And
it's still bittersweet right now.
It is bittersweet.
And we don't have baby in our arms, so it's hard to imagine, like, how much we'll love our child. Obviously, we know it's going to be, like, an insane amount, and it's only going to be happier, and it's only going to be more love. But because we don't have that yet, it's like, but we have such a good life, just the two of us.
I know, that's true. That is true.
It's just so bittersweet. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to be so sad transitioning, like, leaving this phase, this chapter of our lives.
I mean, it's pretty quick, honestly.
Yeah, we weren't married very long.
3 years is pretty fast.
We thought that we'd be fighting infertility a whole lot longer. Wow, I have not been an emotional pregnant lady. I don't know why I'm crying. That's so weird. I promise my hormones have been, like, weirdly regulated. But
yeah, I can vouch for that. But it is kind of fun. There are little moments where you do get all
I get
teary.
tender.
Yeah, you get tender.
So
like
no.
Why? Why can't you? Don't even know what I was gonna say.
Yes, I do.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say Spider-Man.
Oh.
What'd you think I was gonna say?
Everyone cried in Spider-Man.
I didn't cry in Spider-Man.
You should have.
I cried when the Punisher was Spider-Man.
So lame. I keep interrupting. I'm so sorry.
No, that's what a podcast is. It's a conversation. It's not an interruption time.
It is interruption time.
It is interruption time. Yeah, whatever. But Yeah, and that's, I don't know. I just think about the joy that's going to become from a parent and the growth, honestly, too.
Yeah, true.
That's another big one is we talk about growth a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We want growth. We strive for growth. What better way to grow than to have a little baby Winston right next to us making us grow?
I know. And you and I were talking about this. Our anniversary was last week. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
last week.
week.
And we were just talking about how just since being pregnant, I feel like we have really tried to step up our game in a lot of different categories in preparation for baby. Like we're trying to figure out our workout schedule. Feel like we have been trying to incorporate habits spiritually to be ready to have baby. And I feel like even without him in our arms yet, we have been already getting that, I don't know if urge is the right word, but that desire to improve ourselves in preparation to raise a little child.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy what happens to you when you have a little baby on the way.
All right. You want me to get super sappy
Oh, great.
and lame?
I love a cheese ball.
I'm going to get real cheesy real quick. So
Okay.
I wrote in my journal the other day about a few things like that marriage has taught me. And this is something that might make you guys really cringe, but I'm going to read it to you.
Be careful.
I was just writing about how one of my favorite things about marriage is that desire to become the best version of yourself for your person.
Right.
This is what I said. Let's see. I often ask myself whether I'm the husband Allie imagined having when she was younger. Am I the man that she deserves? I believe I am, but staying that man requires something from me. I have to keep working on myself. That is one of the beautiful parts of marriage. The commitment goes deeper than promising to stay beside someone for time and all eternity. I think loving your spouse means taking seriously the responsibility to become someone worthy of that commitment. Allie deserves the best version of me I can give her. Because I love her, I'm willing to sacrifice the habits, weaknesses, and selfish parts of myself that get in the way of becoming that man. And I think the same thing applies to parenthood. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a commitment to show up every single day the best for your kids. There's going to be days when we're tired, when we're like, oh my gosh, like, if I could only get 5 more minutes to sleep. But at the end of the day, it's also like, I want to be the example that our kid looks to and learns from and says, oh,
that's really cool that Dad does that. Like, I want to try that too.
Maybe he'll see me journaling and he'll think it's super cool when he's young and start writing. I don't know. Or he'll see me podcasting. Maybe we'll get an episode of Winston when he's like 6.
He's just like sitting on the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just got him in my arms.
Yeah.
But that's honestly what I think showing up and taking that responsibility as a husband and a father is, for me at least, is like, I'm always going to work on myself. And I know it's the same for you because you do it every single day too. Like, you're a hard worker. You try and become the best version of you.
It's very kind of you to say. It's hard to feel that way when I'm tired a lot right now.
You're creating a human.
I know. It's hard to remember that. It can be pretty discouraging feeling like a little lazy lump of potatoes. But
let's talk about that. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Okay, Chris. Thanks for having me. Life just looks different right now, and it looks different than any form of life I've had before, and
yeah.
I haven't been this tired ever and not have a job, like, or actively working or doing something, and it just feels and I can't work out the same way.
Yeah.
So everything just kind of feels like my goals, I'm like letting my goals fall, and that I'm just like not the person I could be right now. And I know that's just our minds playing tricks. Like, yeah. I understand that it's just a phase of life and it's just for a season, but it is definitely difficult not to feel discouraged after working so hard to get up in my miles for races. Yeah. And I finally got the job that I really wanted. And I was doing all these things that's kind of feeling like peak, like I'm like thriving in my goals. I'm like accomplishing things just for everything to get kind of put on the back burner. And don't get me wrong, like I want it on the back burner, like I want to be a mom and that is the focus. But before I have the child, when I'm just like sitting around making a baby, that I don't have any consciousness that I'm doing. Like, it's not like I'm actively participating in the baby making process. Like, it's just my body's just doing it on its own. It's hard to look at my day to day and not feel like I'm letting myself down or I'm not doing enough. And even when it's like hard to do chores because I'm like so tired or I'm like something hurts or whatever, I'm like, dang, I can't even be a housewife and I'm just sitting around doing nothing for 5 hours. So it can be discouraging. I have to keep telling myself, and you're like very sweet about it. You're very patient and very supportive, but it does take a toll on kind of your view of yourself as you just get bigger and bigger and you and can't do anything the same as you did prior to getting pregnant.
Yeah. Let's take a step back though.
Okay.
Because logically you understand that
Right.
that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
And you could argue that what you're doing now is the most important part of your life.
Right.
Creating life, at least.
It's a miracle.
And
The woman body's insane.
it's amazing. You're
It's
superhuman.
insane.
Jason and I were talking about that when he was on, but I can totally see how you get to that point because you and I joke all the time that if I was in your shoes, I would be a really angry pregnant lady. I'd be so grumpy and sad and just angry, I think. I'd be a bad pregnant lady.
You think? I think you might have been.
Yeah. No, I would be.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe you'd come around to the idea that this is like the new phase, you know? I think a lot of women do a great job of kind of recognizing that this is their phase they're in and they soak it up and love it. A lot of people are super sick and so they don't want to even try and do better anyways. I think
Yeah.
that's the hard thing is I haven't been sick. So it's like, which I'm grateful for. But it's not like I'm throwing up and so it makes sense to lay down.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, overall, I'm doing pretty good. Like, my pelvis hurts so bad I can't run. And then I start spiraling that I'm, like, losing it. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything for our family. If I was sick, maybe I would be able to recognize, like, I need to be in bed. But it's just a weird thing, feeling okay most of the time and yet still not being able to do much.
Yeah.
It's a hard mentality or a hard concept to grasp.
I'm sure.
You would adjust. I think everyone has to.
Probably, but still, like, I think I'd probably be in my mind all the time, like, freaking myself out. You handle it very well, like, very gracefully.
That's very kind.
I'm serious. Like, it's unbelievable. I told you, I've met very angry pregnant ladies. I would be one of them.
We don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure, but all I'm saying is it's amazing to watch. And the love that you already have for our son, just by sacrificing, like you said, your job's on the back burner right now. Your fitness goals are. Your body is. Your body hurts. Your feet hurt. Your
Belly's
pelvis
big.
hurts. Your back hurts. Like, everything hurts. You're uncomfortable. And yet you still go through and you have a great attitude.
It's very kind
That's
of
why
you.
moms do it and dads don't. I couldn't
fair.
do that. Anyways,
That's sweet.
you're getting after it every single day. Don't convince yourself otherwise.
It is difficult. I have so much more respect for moms than I ever thought. I always thought moms were so cool because I'm like, dang, that's so sick that you're like, creating a baby and that, like, you have to push it out.
Now
Like,
you're one of
that's-
them.
It's just I've always had so much respect, and then now after being pregnant, I'm like, wow, I love moms so much more than I ever thought.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, it's just so impressive. Anyways,
Different kind of appreciation.
yeah, I keep interrupting, but I don't even know why I got on that tangent, but it's just been a weird adjustment is all I'm getting at. And I know that every phase of life is going to have a transition, and it's going to be scary at times. It's going to feel weird at times, and we may be happy or sad about it, but overall, like, you can always keep the gratitude, and especially for a baby, I'm like more than
Yeah,
grateful more than anything else.
for sure. We put his little sheets on his bed today, and I was like, oh my gosh,
So little.
I'm going to die. One thing that's very important to, I think, both of us is the fact that we want to be very present.
That's the goal.
And being present's an interesting topic because you could be physically sitting with your family, like let's say on the couch, or like you're having dinner with them, but you're thinking about work, or I'm thinking about the podcast or my fitness training for the next day. You're not physically, or you're physically there, but mentally you're not. And being present, in my opinion, is being both mentally and physically where you're at.
Right.
When we have our son, I've been thinking about like, okay, well, how do I make you feel present? So that's a question I'm going to ask you is, what do I genuinely do to make you feel like I'm present with you?
What do you do to feel present with me?
What do I do to make you feel like you're present with me? Or I'm present with you?
Oh. Well, you never have your phone when we're together, like especially not at the kitchen table. Like
That's right, baby.
You're very serious about not having your phone with you at dinner time. And we sit down and have, like, we literally bring out the placemats every night for dinner. like we like set the table for every dinner. And obviously it's easier because it's just two of us and we're adults. Like I know like when we have more kids, it's going to be more difficult to like actually set the table.
Oh my gosh, we have to set out 4 placemats instead of 2.
Oh my gosh, life's going to be so hard. But what I'm saying is like, we're both adults. We can handle this. But I think we make a conscious effort to like have a time and a place for each thing. Like dinner is for dinner time, and we're together. I think checking in with each other. A lot of times you just walk in, even when like during the work day, because you work from home now, you'll just come in and make sure I'm like good. I have everything I need, and I think it means a lot because I know you're working and I have to like pretend that you're not home, so that you have a real job, that you're that you're doing things. You know, I don't want to be like interrupting your day because you have things to do. But even when you're occupied and you're working, you still are trying to make sure that I'm like aware that you are always going to be there. And
I hope so. That's a goal.
That means a lot.
Yeah. I did it away.
You always burp.
Sorry. I have a Coke Zero for a reason. No, I appreciate that. And I try. Like, I hate this. You want to know what's been one of the biggest helps? And I guess I can come on here and say that I'm proud that I've come back to my goal. But waking up early again. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
That's true.
Because then, like, I'm not worried about working out after work. Once work's done, it's just us time.
True.
And I want that to be like, okay, when I'm done with work, now it's family time, that kind of thing. So
you shouldn't be ashamed to say that you're back to your goal when your testosterone has finally kicked in. We knew it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been 7 weeks.
Beautiful thing. It feels so good now.
Yeah, so it totally makes sense that like now is the time where you're starting to feel strong enough to get up at that time.
Yeah. But it makes a huge difference.
It does.
And I think as we become parents, we'll find more things like that, like adding, an extra 2 hours to our day so we can be present for our kids.
And taking things away. Because a lot of times, like, we'll have time at night where, like, we can just sit and scroll if we want to or watch a show if we want to, And so, like, some habits you can just take away, and then that creates time as well. So I think a lot of times we're thinking with add, and that just adds more stress sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most simple thing is taking something away, finding what can be removed. And
is there something that comes to mind for you, like what you could take away to potentially increase time?
Well, right now I don't have much going on. So, like, I'm on my phone way too much. I'm hanging out, like, on the couch way too much. So
you're allowed to. You're pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. Is like right now it's just a weird time frame for me and a weird phase of life. But I definitely know that I'm like, I have all the time in the world right now. So I don't really need to take anything out. Besides, I definitely have been on my phone too much. But then I'm like, what do I fill it with? Because I have nothing going on. But obviously when a kid comes, I'll have a whole lot more responsibility, and then life will pick up, and then we'll have to reevaluate. That's the thing with life. I think it's just regular reevaluation and adjustment. And I think that you and I do decent at that because we talk about what we have going on that week. We talk about every morning we talk about what our day looks like, what we need to get done, and like how we can help each other. And every day is slightly different. And so I think just being able to be flexible in that way, recognizing when we talk about balance of life and work and family and whatever it is, I think every day looks different, but that's why it's balance. It's because, yes, family is priority for us. However, say you lost your job or something happened, or like you have a conference coming up and you're out of town for 4 days, that's work has to take priority in some situations. For sure. And I know you're doing that for the family, but every day is going to look different. Every week's going to look different. And so just a constant checking in, reevaluating and adjusting, I think is what has strengthened our marriage so far. And I think is what's going to really be beneficial, or a beneficial skill to have when baby comes.
I completely agree. And that's why I'm a big proponent of journaling, because like that's how I reevaluate myself.
Right.
It's like I think about the things that I've gone through, or goals that I feel like I'm slipping on or doing really well at, and I try and understand why that's the case. For me, that's been a big help for me, like striving to my goals, reaching goals, setting new ones, and then documenting the progress or the process as I get to that point. And then going back and saying like, hey, this actually wasn't worth it, or like I was away from Allie for a long time because I was working on a project that didn't turn out to be worth it. Whatever it is, like.
And also, I think that a lot of times we take a bite off more than we can chew. Like when we set our annual goals, it's like hard not to give ourselves like 8 goals for the year, like
That's
big
true.
goals, you know?
Yeah.
And so being able to be humble enough to recognize if like one goal is not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we can always adjust and like continue to fit in time for each goal. But sometimes we took on too much, and
Yeah.
it's okay to readjust your goals as you were saying. But it goes back to that flexibility. I think that's going to save us later when we think that you're running a 50 miler and I'm doing high rocks and all this stuff. And then we have a newborn. And so like, I'm sure things are going to need to adjust as time goes on, and that's totally fine. I don't think that means that we failed our goal always, but just like you were saying, just self-awareness of being able to see what makes sense in different phases of life.
I think that's a good point. I mean, that's the whole topic of today is like, how do we still achieve big goals while being present? I don't think there's anything like, if you would have asked me when I was 21 or when I was in college listening to Jocko Willink, or right out of college, like amped up, whatever it was, before like we got married, I was very much under the impression that you had to always be consistently achieving things in order to receive value, or like to be perceived as a valuable person. And like when I was in college, I would set crazy goals for myself. There was one semester I had 22 credits. I was working full time. Was trying to start a business with my brothers, and like working out. Like I had little personal time for myself. I probably wasn't happy during that time. I don't think I would say like I was a super happy guy. I got a lot done, which is great. I've had many phases in my life where I've added a bunch to the plate and tried to tackle it all at once. And a lot of the times, like I'm able to do it, but my quality of life dwindles. And so it's interesting now, like as I get older, I'm realizing like, okay, well, the goal should be like financially, yes, I want to make sure that we're always taken care of. Mm-hmm. That's a goal. But taken care of means our needs are met. Mm-hmm. It'd be nice.
And it can look different in different seasons.
Yeah, and it's going to. Like that's something I know very much so, that like people, they earn their most in their careers around 40 and 50. Mm. And so like, and by no means are we struggling. It's just like, you know, it's going to look different at every point. Fitness wise, I have a baby. Mm-hmm. That's way more important than going out and doing a 50-miler race. Mm-hmm. And it's just interesting because like now I don't think like, okay, well, my value is determined on my output. Mm-hmm. My value is simply determined on if I'm showing up in each of the areas I think are important to the best of my ability. Right. And for me, that's family, faith, work, fitness, and like myself, like personal work myself. So education, mental health, all that kind of stuff falls into that bucket. And those are like the 5 things that like come to the top of my mind. That's like, okay, that's what's important to me. And if I'm doing well in each of those areas, success is relative. Mm-hmm. Like that is success to me, as long as I'm maintaining those things. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there will be times where, like this week, I have a conference I'm going to for 2 days, and I'm absolutely terrified that you're going to have a baby.
I'm literally nowhere near having the baby. Brett sends me a Chat GPT conversation he had today, and he's like asking Chat if like like what the likelihood is I'm going to go into labor.
I wanted to know the stats.
All this stuff. And I'm like,
Comes
honey,
out to be
I'm
about
at week-
1%.
Yeah, I'm at week 35 and you're gone for like less than 42 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, you know,
you're hilarious.
That's
I'm
what I'm
glad that
saying.
you want to be there so bad. That makes me feel good.
it should make you feel good. That's my worry brain, and that's your logical brain. We work great together.
That's so funny.
But I think goals are going to change. Going back to this.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any shame in bringing down your goals because you're making room for something new. Mm-hmm. I always tell people when they want to start running to start slow.
Right.
To start slow, just do what you can, and then start building your way up there. I think the same thing is going to happen as we become parents. We're going to be kind of taking a step back with all our goals. Like my running is probably going to drop in mileage per week. Hierarchs training for you is probably going to dwindle in time. All those things. Time for journaling, podcasting, all those things. It's going to shrink, in my opinion. So all those things are going to get small, and then baby's going to take up a big chunk of our time, right? And I think what we're going to learn is that baby can still take up this much of our time, but then we can figure out how to fill each of these lines, right? Until, we're at a point to where we're at today in terms of our goals. Like I'm trying to run 2,600 miles a year. Like I know I can get to that point. Winston just might be 5, I don't know. I know I'm just spitballing here, but I think with goals, like as long as you're trying to push yourself, you're trying to get after it. That's what is important. That's what life requires of you at times.
Mm-hmm. I like to think that actually when baby is baby, this is the most time we're gonna have. I feel like a toddler would take up a whole lot more time. A baby's like sleeping so much that like maybe you could get your runs in. But exactly what you're saying, like things are gonna shift, and that's okay. I was thinking about my dad because he was an entrepreneur, had a lot of things going on. Entrepreneurship, such a hard career.
Yeah.
Like you have great years and you have horrible years. And so you get really good at saving for when those horrible years come. And then when you are starting something, it's going to take all your time, talents, and efforts.
Yeah.
I understand that starting a company is a grind and that it is your baby. Like it has to take that much time in order for it to get off the ground all the time. And yet my dad was the most present dad ever. Like I think about that and how he worked really weird hours just so he's available for us when we're home. And as I grew up, I like look at his schedule. I'm like, dang, like he worked hard and he worked a lot of hours. Like he had very long weeks, but I would have never known as a child because when I'm awake, he's there making breakfast. When we get home from school, he's there to hang out and do homework. And then when it's dinner time, he's there to have dinner. Like he never would miss the significant moments that we are around because he wanted to be in our lives and we needed that. And so it's interesting because I see entrepreneurs out there who they're like, I have to be at the office from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. or else it's not going to get off the ground. When, yes, it takes a lot of time and effort, but it also is just evaluating what matters most. Work is always going to be there, but family is eternal. Work is temporal.
Yeah.
And so it's just I think it's dependent on what the person wants most, what they prioritize most. And if they do care about family, work, fitness, all of the above, it's going to have to constantly shift. Maybe you have certain days that like are your work days, so that you're present on the other days or whatever it is. It can look different every day. And my dad worked from home, so it made it so much easier for us to have a relationship with him. And he was able to pop in whenever he wanted to.
Yeah.
I understand if you're working in an office, it may not be as simple. But I look back and I'm just like in awe that he was around so much with how many hours he did put in. And he sacrificed his sleep a ton so that he could be up to help us whenever we needed. And that he could work as often as he needed to. So his personal life probably sacrificed the most when we were growing up young. But I mean, it's not like he's around I could ask. but I don't know. It's just something that like now that I'm an adult and I look back at my childhood, I want our kids to feel that way. Like, my dad was a big into cycling for a while, did triathlons. Like, he was interested in that kind of thing. He wasn't some like huge fitness guru. It's not like running took up a lot of his day. You know, it's not like that was a
You
huge...
would run circles around him, literally.
Yeah, and it's not like he like prioritized that, so he had like less on his plate in that sense. But regardless, like, even as a kid, I knew that dad was always around. Like, he was always there to hang out with us when we needed him. Like, if we were sick in the middle of the night, he was the one that was coming in. My mom was great too. But my dad was the nurturer, and he loved that. And so I know it's possible. And so now going into motherhood, I like to think of his and my mom's example of they still prioritize themselves. They did fitness things. They still hung out with friends. They still had date night. But never, and they still worked, never did we feel like we were on the back burner because they had bigger things to do. But also we could see that they were still working on themselves and trying to accomplish things. And I know that's a hard balance. And I know that's going to be difficult. And I know I'm just like spitting out words right now. It's probably a word salad. Is that a thing?
Yeah, word salad's a thing.
I'm probably doing that
I
right
don't
now.
think you're spitting it out. I think it's good stuff.
But all that to say that I think kids do well seeing parents have other goals outside of them. And I think kids do well when your child is your number one priority.
Yeah.
And I think I got a little bit of both, which is I'm grateful for. And I hope that as we become parents, we still have our goals because they are important. Like, it's good for kids to see their dad go to the gym and have healthy lifestyle and habits. And that we have goals outside of the family to help better ourselves, you know. But having the kid involved in our goals as much as possible, I think, is what's going to help them obtain their healthy life goals and hopefully be an example. Because that's how I grew up, and I feel like that's helped us become stronger individuals as adults.
For sure. And I don't think
it's going to be hard, but
it's going to be hard. But I mean, life is hard.
Yeah.
So whatever. And I mean,
True. Pick your hard.
Pick your hard. That's the thing. Like, I was thinking about a little bit earlier when you were talking, is just how fundamentally what makes us us is the things that we do. Our habits make us us. And if I were to stop going to the gym, stop podcasting, even when it gets hard, like podcasting, sometimes there's days where you're like, man, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to create another episode, whatever it is. Like, stop doing those things, and I think you become a whole different person. And that's what's important to me, is like the things that I do in my life, the habits that I have mean a lot to me. I've taken 28 years to figure out what's worked in my life, what makes me a happy person, what makes me show up for my wife and now family more. Like, and it's all these things that make me me, as weird as that sounds.
It doesn't sound weird, because I want Brett to be the dad Brett is, you know.
Yeah.
And when you start taking those things away, you start losing your identity, and then that's sad.
You know who I think some of the best examples are of this?
Whom?
I'm going to shout out Spencer Walker and Brinley.
Yeah, they're great.
They're unbelievable. They have
Great friends, too.
3 kids. One boy who I think is almost 3
Probably.
or 2.5, something like that. And then they just had 2 twin baby girls. Spencer is a friend that I grew up with since I was 10 years old, super young. Great friend. And he is an unbelievable guy. Like, I wish I could be like Spencer in a lot of ways, just because he's incredibly driven in all the things that he does. He's smart. He's studying to become, or he's going into the medical field.
Still in school having twins. That's scary.
He's still in school
3
having
kids.
twins. And he just won the FitCon in May, which is a big CrossFit competition in Salt Lake City. His wife, 3 weeks postpartum, was doing like exercises.
She's also a CrossFit girl.
She's also CrossFit. That's how they met, of course. And it's just like they prioritize their family, their faith, but then themselves. Like, Spencer is spending a lot of time studying for school. And the reason I bring that up is there's examples out there. You were also talking about your parents. I think my parents did a good job of it. Like, when my mom was training for races, she just came on here and talked about that. there's examples of people out there who do it.
Right.
And if they can do it, that means there's a way. And if there's a way, that means you can do it too.
Right.
And so that's the mindset that I go into becoming a dad with. I take the you just wait people and I say, screw you. I know this is possible. There's people out there who do it.
Right.
You know, we might have a baby who screams all night. Fine. There's still people out there who can do it.
You adapt.
Yeah, you adapt, you learn, you try. Like, and that's, I think, the whole important piece of not just parenthood but life is that, like you said, you reevaluate and you adapt and you go forward, you move forward.
Yeah, we were just talking about this with your brothers and their kids, and how I have never really been around kids. Your nieces and nephews are the first kids I've ever been around, which makes me extra scared to be a mom.
No.
But it's been interesting seeing our nieces and nephews and how your brother's interest is so reflected in those kids. And we were joking about that.
So cool.
When Drew and Emily were like running their races, Drew was like training for ultramarathon. Now he's like going more into like strength training, I think.
Yeah, he's getting back into lifting and stuff.
So he's not running as much. But when he was running, their oldest son, who's now 5, was like, anytime he wanted to play, it's like, hey, you want to race? Hey, you want to race?
You want to go run?
He wanted to run all the time while Drew and Emily were doing their races. And he may still be doing that a little bit, but not since I've seen him. Like, now that Drew's not running and Emily's pregnant too, like, Reese is not asking to race as much, you know, and he has like other interests. He plays sports and stuff. And same with Blake's kids. Like, Blake loves baseball. And so his oldest son is like the baseball
and
guy.
Fishing.
And fishing. They started fishing and now they fish together. And I think it's because they're including their kids in their hobbies.
Yeah.
Like, your brothers are not losing their personality or their interest from having kids. They include their kids in their interests and in their hobbies, in their goals. And because of that, the kids are loving it too. And I think that strengthens their relationship with their child, is because not only are they able to continue to work on their goals, but the kid is so excited as well to like see their dad go to, like, their kids come to our races because they love to see their dad cross the finish line or their mom cross the finish line.
It's so cool.
And it's such a great example to your kids, like what hard work looks like and what it looks like to prioritize yourself, but also be an available parent to like help them along the path of life and growing into like what is a good adult.
Yeah.
I think your brothers are great at that.
I think so too. Like, and it's fun seeing that reflected in their kids.
It is so
because
cute.
Norm is 100% my brother Blake.
He is
like,
the same.
And then the outfits too, like the glasses.
They're wearing
and the
their
hats.
chains,
like backwards hats and all that stuff.
Such a duel.
Such
a baseball player.
Yeah, my brother gets a buzz cut. Norm's like, I want a buzz cut.
Yeah,
like,
same with Reese.
It's so fun.
They get
so
buzz
cool.
cuts at the same time. And it's like so fun to see like kids follow their parents' examples so much more than you would ever guess.
Yeah.
And if you take away like what makes you, your kid's not gonna have guidance on like what they could become.
Yeah.
It's great to be a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, whatever it is, to raise your, if you're being a mom is your whole identity, there's incredible mothers out there who are like the nurturers and the most incredible housewives who are so on top of everything.
That was my mom.
Yeah, and she's great. And
She's
she
the
has
best.
taught us so much about like what it means to care about your family and to like be a leader in that way. And so if that's like your thing, then go all in that thing.
Right.
You know, it doesn't mean that you have to have like these other fitness goals or whatever these other goals are. But whatever it is that makes you you and you want to be, like those are great example, I think, for kids. And like I said, we don't have kids, so maybe we should reevaluate in a year and see how we feel about what we're talking about now. But it's fun to see the examples in our lives and how they're able to both have big goals and also prioritize and be present for their family.
Yeah, and I think that's the key there is like, as long as whatever you want to do, whatever you want to go all in, is like, as long as it's okay and you're still there for your family when they need them. Like if you're out golfing for 3 hours on Saturday and you're just by yourself and the boys, that's probably not the best way to spend your time.
Every single one. Every single Saturday.
But maybe like you bring your kids. And maybe you try and include them in your hobbies. Whatever it is. But like I think the important piece is if you want to be, you know, in your kids' lives, obviously we're not parents, but I think it requires you to actually do that, to show up and be there and still maintain the things that you want to do and take care of yourself, because you can't show up, in my opinion, because I can't show up in a marriage if I'm not taking care of myself.
Right.
So like I can't be the dad that I need to be if I'm not taking care of myself. So anyways,
I get so many TikToks now because obviously I'm getting close to having a baby. So everything is pregnancy and babies. And I always see videos that are like, babies don't want to be distracted. They want to be involved.
yeah.
And like, I think that's so true, probably. Not that I have any experience. Why are you chuckling so hard?
I just
Oh, no. Here we
I
go.
just thought of this video. I saw the same thing where it's like babies don't want to, what would you say?
Be distracted. They want to be involved.
They want to be involved, and some mom is holding her kid. And she, I don't know. She looked like she's like 1 year old. She's like mixing these green beans. And then she gives the kid the spatula, and the kid's mixing the green beans and like going hard at it, like just going hard. And like one of them flies out. And then I looked at the comments, and one of the guys, someone said, "That kid's cooking the shit out of those green beans."
So stupid. so stupid.
I mean, she was involved, but it was just so funny. Like, I'm excited for that kind of stuff.
I think it'd be neat.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but it's going to be good.
That said, the final question for my wife, Alessandra.
Okay.
Russell. Alessandra Juliet Russell.
Okay.
What's one thing you want Winston to learn from us?
Well, us is interesting because it's different than
Our
me
examples.
and you.
Yeah, our example.
I think this is going to be a weird answer.
I'm excited.
I think our relationship is a broad way to say it, but how we communicate and have emotional regulation. I know that sounds so weird. I don't even know if that's like correct grammar, but one thing I love about what we strive to do is to be very just good listeners, be very present for each other, not blow up on each other. Like, we've never raised our voice at each other. We like never argue. And I bet people are like, yeah, right, you don't argue. But we like,
It's kind of true.
if we have something that we disagree, if we're annoyed or something,
We talk about it.
then like we both have the personality where we don't like contention in the house.
Yeah.
We don't want to sleep mad. We both have a desire to like have peace. And I hope that one thing that our kids take from us is how we love each other, like how that shows respect for each other, and how you treat people that you care about. Because I think that there's just families out there where it's normal to like yell, scream, like be mad, even if they love each other so much. I think it's normal in some relationships to argue a lot or like be passive aggressive or something. But I really love how we handle any type of conflict. Not that, like I said, we don't really have much conflict, but maybe because we both have a desire to have open and upfront communication, we're comfortable talking about our feelings. And I know that's something that we have been working on our whole marriage. Especially like you are a boy, you came from not expressing your feelings prior to marriage.
Yeah, I'm still not great at it, but
you're doing so much
learning.
better.
Yeah.
But being able to communicate how you feel, and I know that sounds so weird, but I just love that about our relationship. I love that we don't have like a short fuse, and I think that as our kid grows up and finds his spouse one day, I would love for his wife to be like he is so peaceful. he loves to just, he's able to express himself, you know, and that sounds like so feminine in a lot of ways, but not in like a weird gay, like, not a weird gay way. That sounds so mean. But
I mean, yeah.
Not like crying all the time, like not like hypersensitive, but just to have a son who respects his wife the way that you respect me, and like the way that you always do the dishes after dinner, and just like those things that make you manly, but also very sweet and keeps the passion,
Passion, baby. Hell yeah.
passion, the peace in our
Yeah.
home. And so that seems like a weird one, but I really hope when he grows up that he looks at our marriage as an example. And we've talked about our parents and how there's so many things that we want to take from our parents and put in our relationship. And I hope that that's one thing that really sticks out to him, is how to control his emotions and be able to communicate and those type of skills. Yes, I'm like, that'd be so cool if he starts running a ton and wants to be a pilot and all this stuff.
For sure.
But just being a good person, if we can create a little human that wants to be a good citizen in society and that people want to work with and people want to be friends with, and that he like uplifts others, I'm like, that is the most success I can ever think of.
For sure. Yeah.
And I hope he loves Jesus, but I think that goes with being a good person too.
Yeah. You know,
in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I agree.
But I like to think.
And at the end of the day, like, he'll make his own choices, but
Right.
I
But
think
choose
just having the example.
Yeah, I hope he chooses to just be able to be the type of friend that we are to each other. Find your best friend and marry him.
It's great advice. You should find your best friend and marry him. It's the best thing that's ever happened.
It's been the best. And that was a long-winded answer, but I mean, obviously I want the most for our kids. That's why it's probably such a long-winded answer. But I think our marriage, and I think a lot of our friends have great marriages too, and I'm sure everyone feels this way, but I feel like we had the best one.
It's pretty good. I mean, yeah.
I'm sure everyone feels like they
Not
have
to
the
be
best
biased,
marriage.
but it's damn good.
Super biased, but I don't care. And I want that for our son. It's just like life is so much easier when everything's good in the home.
Yeah, I agree.
So
It's pretty nice.
my favorite,
Makes it much better.
truly.
I can't wait for this adventure.
I'm so curious. I think it's gonna be great, but I'm just curious how it's gonna go. I know those just wait people are saying because they're so tired and all this stuff, but who needs sleep? Sleep when you're dead. We got this.
Sleep when you're dead. I know there's a lot of good stuff coming out now and like how sleep helps with longevity, but you know, we're all going to die anyway.
Yeah.
Why lengthen it out?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why be scared of it?
What am I, Brian Johnson?
Is that the guy that wants to live forever?
Yeah, the vampire dude.
Oh, yeah?
Creepy vampire guy.
That's too bad.
Which, by the way, he came out with something that he said he wants to compete with Jesus. So,
That's too bad.
yeah, it's too bad.
What does that mean?
He's just like, he wants to live a long life. I don't know.
How does that compete with Jesus? Jesus died at like 31.
That's a good point. I just want to say is like, I probably get the quote wrong, but I didn't watch it long enough to care. So,
Now we're rambling.
yeah, that guy's a creep. Anyways, thank you so much for coming on.
Happy to be here.
You are my best friend, and I can't wait to raise a little child with you.
It's going to be so fun having another little bestie.
I know. A little 50-50 you and me.
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. All right, so in the comments, what you have to do is predict what our child's going to look
I
like.
knew you were going to say that.
Because,
My grandma is 4 foot, or was like 4'10" at her highest. Mexican.
Yeah.
Native American. Black fro, this big, spoke Spanish. You would never guess I'm a whitey.
yeah, my grandma, on my dad's side, she's 96 right now, but she's fair skin, red hair, strawberry blonde hair,
Blue eyes.
blue eyes. And my other grandma is blonde hair, blue eyes. And what about your grandma?
My other grandma had brown hair, blue eyes.
Yeah. So
Blue
really,
eyes across the board.
and then you and Blake look completely different.
Right.
So
My grandpa was German.
yeah,
So we got blonde hair, blue eyes a lot, but my grandma really carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
My brother looks
100% Mexican.
Mexican and Native American,
Yep.
and I don't. And we come from the same people, I swear.
So in the comments, let us know what you think our baby's hair is going to be. What color?
Evidently, he has got a lot of hair according to the ultrasound.
I'm thinking it's got to be black then. He's got to have black hair.
Black seems like aggressive. Maybe like brown,
Dark brown.
dark. I have no idea. But we do have a friend who had a blonde baby with a lot of hair.
That's true.
Because you and I were both blonde babies, and we were bald.
Yeah. But then we had a friend who had blonde hair and she had a black hair baby.
Yeah, that's true. You just don't know.
You
Genes
never
are
know.
weird.
Genes are weird.
I love genetics.
So
Fascinating.
fascinating.
So are we going to have a little
The only
Mexican
thing that we
baby?
do know,
is what?
he's going to be handsome.
He's going to be so handsome.
Yeah. A handsome boy.
Evidently, he's got long femurs right now, so he's taking after
Taking
pops.
after pops. Yeah.
My femurs
Hell
are
yeah.
short.
You have short femurs.
No one cares about the rest of this.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
We'll update you more on our parenthood journey. But until next episode, everybody.
Keep getting after it.
That's right.